Let's go.
We can talk about it, but all talking is cheap. Cause the last word is me. The last word is me. We can talk about it, but you ain't beating me. Cause the last word is me. The last word is me.
Yeah, I know.
The last word is me. The last word is me. The last word is me.
Say what?
The last word is me. The last word is me. The last word is me.
Can you believe that, man?
The last word.
Yeah, that's right. You got it. Last word.
They win the game against the Colts, but they end up losing the number one pick in next year's draft, which is really, it's really funny because they need a quarterback, and Bryce Young is supposed to be like a grade A talent coming out of college. What's your take on that?
What, Bryce Young going number one?
I'm Bryce Young going number one.
Again, Chicago has the pick, and right, so yeah, it's too bad for the Texans, right, who have a great need there. But Chicago with the number one pick has a very interesting decision to make, to be honest. They have Justin Fields in place right now, and if they, as an organization, believe that Fields is the guy to go forward with, then you trade that number one pick, right? However, Fields is 3 years in, so it's going to be a year or two before you're going to have to pay this guy.
Well, Justin Fields, he suffered a beating this year. The O-line was non-existent. The team finished 3-16.
Yeah.
If I'm not 3-13, sorry.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm asking myself 3-14. Sorry.
Yeah.
3-14. Yeah. 3-14. So I'm asking myself, do you trade Justin Fields for? I guess you can probably get 3 first rounders for him, right? Maybe 2 first rounders for Justin Fields.
Three first rounders?
Think about this. How many teams in the NFL could use a Justin Fields right now? You have to look at that.
A few of them could definitely.
And these teams that have some picks to give up, right?
My only thought with that is, however, right? Again, he's 3 years in. So by year 4, he's available for the extension. Then so your time frame is very limited in terms of a team. You have to be 100% when you're trading for him, understanding that you're going to pay this guy big bucks.
In 3 years, you've had a sample size of what you're going to get.
Yeah,
and his projection to what he's going to be in the future. I think right now what Bryce Young gives you. You have to sort of roll the dice and give him that opportunity. Beef up your O-line. Okay. Get a 5-star talent at the behind at quarterback. I think you can't lose, right? It's a game that.
So you're saying Chicago should do what?
Trade Justin Fields.
Okay.
Work with your new quarterback that you can underpay for a little bit.
Yes.
Beef up your O-line.
Yes. And
really hit the line with Bryce Young, because you don't want Bryce Young going to another team and really showing you what you could have had.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I just believe that Chicago, realistically, again, it financially, it's probably better to go with that pick. Now, there's a lot of questions people have about Bryce Young, right? So the size, obviously, they're concerned about his size, right? But again, the league is shifting. People always say, but certain things, again, especially at number one, I would prefer my guy to be of a certain size, and again, because look at Tua, small guy getting whipped around, head injuries. My man in Arizona,
Kyler Murray,
injury prone,
right?
Like there's some fear to that element of picking a smaller quarterback.
It is a game. It's a blood sport. So.
And you have a quarterback in position already that you've seen. And I think Chicago honestly should probably keep Fields and trade that number one pick, get the haul, because I believe teams are going to pay more for that number one pick because of the reasons you have 5 years before you have to pay this quarterback. And everyone knows with that formula of cheap quarterback, a lot of expensive talent around him, you're going to get some good results.
If Justin Fields showed me something remotely close to what Jalen Hurts is doing now with Philadelphia. Granted that Philadelphia is built to win, and they've put a great team around Jalen Hurts. Yes. But I don't think I've seen enough from Justin Fields the way he throws the ball.
Okay.
He has great legs. I just don't know if his potential is much higher than Bryce Young's.
Quick question for you:
Mm-hmm.
Who has he had to throw the ball to, and that offense aligned? No question is
Great question. That is actually a good question.
one of the worst.
One of the worst, exactly. So, you know what? That's going to be the coin toss for the week. Should we keep Bryce or should we let him go?
And you have no questions of Bryce being number one. No CJ. No.
Here's what you have to understand.
Who's that guy that's climbing up right now out of where is he from? I have to double check, but there's a lot of talk of this guy. Is he Kentucky or
What position does he play?
he's a quarterback?
Quarterback.
So no matter what, right? Obviously, you're trading that number one.
You're getting a quarterback.
Someone's trading up for a quarterback.
It's a quarterback-driven league. If you have a good quarterback, look, Patrick Mahomes, look at Herbert, look at Josh Allen. These guys have put their teams on their backs and they're excelling. You need a quarterback if you're expected to win in this league.
Yeah.
So
and if you're Chicago right now, there's good reason to say I have my quarterback. Now let's get him some offensive linemen. Let's get him a guard. Let's get him a number one receiver. Right?
Yeah. That
And some of those elements may come in a trade package for that number one pick.
that is.
We might be looking at the Bears as a division contender next year.
Ooh,
With some good
he's
GMing,
taking
of
it that
course.
far. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said it. What?
Chicago Bears in playoff
Yeah.
contention for the Super Bowl next year. That's his take, and that's definitely
What did
not
you
the last
say?
word. That's your work.
Super Bowl? Did you just slip
You
it?
said contending for a Super Bowl. What did you
For
say?
the division. For the division. And why isn't that reasonable? Green Bay falling back potentially.
Yeah.
Again, Minnesota right now is the head of that division.
Finish 13 and 4.
Detroit is on an upward tick.
Finish
as well.
9 and 8.
So yeah, not to say that they're going to be the head of this division, but there's no reason. Again, if you believe Fields is that quarterback, you get him a number one option to work alongside Claypool, and then now you figure out whatever's going on in that backfield as well for some additional, I guess, support. And why not this team being in the mix of that North?
Okay. Well, that's a good take. Chicago, I hope that you live up to his expectations because I definitely don't think you will.